So a little while ago, I reviewed Jean-Luc Godard's Alphaville, and that was one of the most unconventional movies I think that has ever been. And I dislike this phrase, committed to celluloid. Committed to celluloid. I could, I view it as this is one of the greatest films ever created, or one of the most unusual that Alphaville was. However, he has a little bit more straightforward one. Breathless. This is one of the masterpieces of the French New Wave. Breathless launched the career of Jean-Luc Godard. This groundbreaking film tells the story of Michel Jean-Paul Belmondo, a handsome young criminal who is on the run from the law after stealing a car and killing a policeman. He hides out in the Paris apartment of Patricia, played by Jean Seberg, a beautiful young American student. They spend their time dodging the police, making love, and stealing cars to raise money for a trip to Italy. As the police net tightens, Michel's bravado and desperation grow, and Patricia commits the ultimate act of betrayal. Brilliant, plays beautifully, says Philip Lapate, the New York Times. Gritty and engaging, the quintessential existentialist movie in style as well as attitude. Mandatory viewing. Jonathan Rosenbaum, Chicago Reader, and of course, not only one of the most important New Wave films, but also the most passionate. Andrew Sars, The Village Voice. Well, what this movie is, it's romance, and it kind of deals with, well, get ready for this, Friedrich Nietzsche's nihilism, and thus spoke Zarathustra. When I was reading on Wikipedia what the themes were, it is, what is love, what is a star, I think what is, not creation, but what is anything anymore, to kind of paraphrase thus spoke Zarathustra. Pretty much just detailing like the I guess the different lifestyles that they had. For example, Michel is the active nihilist because he's a bad boy. He tries to be a bad boy, a suave, cool person, and we can even see his inspiration of Humphrey Bogart of all people. And of course, there's the more passive type of nihilism. And Patricia, who dislikes social engagements that much, but is kind of drawn by the vigor, if you will, of Michel. And that's just French for Michael. So, yeah, it's interesting to see, like, how does all this fit? Because, well, what makes this part of the new wave films is that this introduced the jump cut. And this works because it's like this film was a little bit too long to be shown for like standard movies, so it said, okay, excise some parts, and instead what Godard did was that he took out some parts that were slow, and this is technically the introduction of jump cuts or jump edits, whatever. So it's like there's gonna be some lines of dialogue. There were some other lines of dialogue that were there, but instead it just moves on to something else, or a scene where they're riding a bike and then the next thing they round a corner, you know? So this isn't like all the action movies with way too many jump cuts. This was actually done in order to save time, but introduce a brand new technique to the world of filmmaking. That I found to be very interesting. And in order to film on the streets of Paris, they had to present what was a full script to this Paris City Authority or whatever. I don't know. It turns out that this script was fake and it was never used. And there was also a rumor saying like this part of this was just made up on the on the flight, and it was like written like the day of and then edited a little bit like before. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this movie I never even considered. Most of it is about like what is love, like what does it connote, like, you know, certain parts of another person that you like. Just are you so much of a nihilist that you've given up on it? Because most of, like I would say, good what 35 minutes just takes place on a bed where they're just talking about things like that, and it's just going on and on. It's like saying like how Mozart and play a little bit of Mozart. But there's also parts where they go down. Like remember, it's just three. Like there's the director, the two actors, and there's just the camera. So they're just having this intensive dialogue scene. No narrator, as seen in some other French movies, but this is like I said. With this being what 1960 something like that, yeah. This was very interesting to see. So it's like it's just like seeing how their lifestyle is because again with Michel being the bad boy, and he accidentally when he's evading the cops, he accidentally kills one, and they kind of have it out for him, because obviously they would. And it just I just look at it and I'm just like, this is just some good stuff right there. Obviously French filmmaking is different, so they're going to be having like the doing the 360 degrees kind of artsy way of showing like what's going on with the raw emotion of it. I mean, this is all just new to me. Even though this is 60 years old, it's like I understand what's going on, but at the same time, I'm not used to the constant dialogue, I guess, long takes that they do. It's like they have the jump cuts and then the long takes of dialogue going on. So I found that to be interesting. There's the right towards the end where they're having a discussion about like what is it like disgusting, like what does that mean? It could be like the disgusting of the mouth of shut your trap, vomiting, or like how a dog kind of is real arguably, we know how it eats and eats its own poop and food like that, food, etc. It's just a whole bunch of stuff going on about like whatever, like instead of just like all the action movies and everything. I mean, you can see a little bit of influence from Casablanca and Alfred Hitchcock in here. So it's like it's a whole combination of just things. It's dialogue. It's what is love, like what is a star. Like I said, the nihilism of being active about like just the way how you feel about life, or you just kind of ignore all the engagements of a bit just being social. You just live your own life, and you're just more quiet. That's what I got from this, and yeah, it's like I said, this is a dialogue-ish movie. There's a little bit of action, but when they just spend 30 minutes there, they just in a bed just talking, just I guess ruminating would be the word. This is a movie about ruminating, and only 86 minutes, but it still does go on. And I'm just like, wow. So yeah, that's definitely what Breathless is. It's a movie just you at least have to see, just because it's the close-ups, the cameras, and everything. It's like it's very interesting to see French movie making. So if you ever get the time, you want to see something that's both great. Oh, and one other thing is that the actress right here, she speaks English and French. So that was interesting to see French dialogue, French subtitles. There's the English going on. So yeah, if you ever want to see a very interesting French New Wave movie, then I recommend that you watch Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless.